Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We have the pleasure of having one of our partners with us, commercebuild. Daniel Saunders will be presenting today, and he's going to be talking to you today about, does your business lack the synergy with BC e-commerce and customer portals? So we're going to get started in just a few moments. But before I begin, I just want to let you know that we are recording this webinar and you will get a copy of it after the webinar is over. And you can share it with any of your other colleagues or refer back to it. And we will be putting it on our on-demand webinar library for you to review again or share it with anyone, and that's under our resources tab on our website at inovia.com. We do encourage you to ask questions during our presentation, so please feel free to type them into the questions box and we will answer them at the end of our session. So now I'm going to turn it over to Daniel to kick off our presentation.
Great, thanks so much, Angie. Let me just get this thing kicked off. Everyone should now be able to see the topic of our discussion today. But first, I want to thank everyone, especially Angie and the Inovia team, for having us on what we believe is a super important topic of conversation when it comes to B2B buyers, the journeys, and how you reach your customers and how your customers interact with you. So, title of this, just as Angie mentioned, is Does Your Business Lack Synergy with Business Central SaaS, e-commerce, and customer portals? Today, we'll be going over a pretty wide array of topics, and please, if you have questions, happy to answer those at the end. So a couple of things we'll be going over is types of e-commerce and what industries need it, the benefits of e-commerce, a B2B buying journey transformation, e-commerce project frustrations, our solutions from commercebuild, which include portals and web stores. And then we can go into a little bit of detail and tools that we can give you guys to help you really understand the ROI of what an e-commerce project means to you and your business. And then I'll give you some demonstrations of some live sites today that are using commercebuild as their e-commerce solution. Just a quick little kind of blurb as far as the commercebuild solution and what we offer. We are offering an ERP integrated e-commerce and customer portal solutions, specifically for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central users. That does mean if you're in the B2B space or B2C space. We offer this at an affordable price, really from the small mom and pop SMBs all the way up to the enterprises that are out there. And we do that with our fast fixed fee implementation. And we don't do any long-term contracts, which really gives you, the buyer, an opportunity to leverage our customer service, our support, and our platform to be able to handle your business in the most excellent way ever. A couple of things that we can talk about, types of e-commerce. This has been kind of evolving over time, but we've got what we've defined as really three different segments. One being mostly marketing driven. So what you're going to see is mostly B2C in this marketing driven type of e-commerce. Think of Kylie Cosmetics, right? So they don't have a wide variety of SKUs, but they have to have, products to sell. They have to be fast to the market. In this particular scenario, an e-commerce platform really needs to be in that B2C space. Shopify Magento makes a lot of sense in this particular category. But again, commercebuild can still help you in that particular section. A sales-driven scenario is mostly B2B. What you're going to find is business in this scenario are really done over the phone or email. You've got those traditional sales reps. They're placing orders on behalf of customers. Often there's no e-commerce really at all. You may have a home page and some content on there that talks about how to become a partner of your business, but there really isn't any type of an e-commerce transactional there. And typically business as usual is fine. E-commerce actually here can help actually streamline your processes, maybe not from a customer standpoint, but from an internal sales rep, CSR type of scenario. Now, ERP driven, that's really where our home is. I'm not saying that our home isn't with marketing driven or sales driven, but ERP is a whole different kind of way of looking at e-commerce. It's kind of a single source of truth is what we're looking at. Basically, your ERP is feeding the e-commerce store. So that means that you don't have multiple databases. If you update in Business Central, in other scenarios, you have to go and update on on the web application itself. So you're doing double work and you're really managing the e-commerce platform instead of managing your business. Um, Another thing is that ERP supply chain, like we're going to be able to pull the product in stock. We're going to be able to see what the correct contract pricing is. We're going to be able to make sure that customers that have different contract pricing don't bleed over into one another. We're going to be able to focus on like a self-serve type of business. So that's where a customer portal comes in, right? Where they get specific invoices, they can pay their open invoices and AR records. They can understand delivery times and understand maybe some of the items that they're only allowed to purchase in that particular scenario. So now that we understand kind of different areas of what e-commerce is and what it means today, let's take a look at some ERP-driven e-commerce industries that we handle today. And all the logos that you see on here are current customers of commercebuild. But as you can see, we work in a wide array of businesses that are out there in those particular verticals, from chemical, distribution and wholesale, food and beverage, manufacturing, industrial, and even up to medical and pharma. We see B2B commerce is just rapidly growing and now valued realistically 5 times that of the B2C market. What we see is that more businesses or more customers actually are asking their businesses to make buying from them easier. And how do you do that? Well, most customers out there are used to going to places like Walmart, Target, Amazon, any place that sells B2C online. So they're used to that type of looking items up and purchasing in that fashion. And that's the first place that these customers go today when they have a question about certain things is, hey, I'm going to go to the web and I'm going to look up and I'm going to do my own research. And that's really what this whole B2B buying journey transformation really is all about, right? So 73% of B2B buyers in 2024, so just next year, will be 20 and 35 years old. And these individuals basically were raised with technology. I'm a little bit older, so I remember a time where when I was running my business, you would have to pick up the phone and order it and talk to a rep and things of that nature. And it gave me the actual opportunity to shop around. But when one of my B2B buyers or needed something and I actually called them and they had the items in stock, well, then they directed me to their new portal. I actually stopped calling other people and started buying strictly through that particular portal. I stopped doing my other research on that. So you can see we have intelligent buyers today that are going to go out there, they're going to have their conversations, they're going to do their research. They don't want to have conversations until they're armed with the knowledge, they understand what's going on. And then when they're ready to buy, then they can pick up that telephone and make that phone call to a sales rep. They also want to be able to make purchases on their own time. They don't want to have to expect to, be forced to pick up the phone between the hours of 8 and 5 and handle business in that particular way. And obviously, everyone has a phone in their pocket now. So to make things easier, they want it to be able to have a mobile optimization where they can just order things straight from their phone. I touched on this earlier, the desire to have a B2C buying experience for B2B purchases. That is going to be more of the norm. And I know some businesses out there maybe have older customers, they like the older feel of it. Coming up soon, those older buyers are going to get replaced with younger buyers. And that's where you need to be ahead of the curve and understanding, well, what is the buying trends of those new buyers. What are they going to be looking for? How do they want to interact with me? And a lot of those people are self-service. They love to be independent. They want an online portal to manage the account. They want the buying experience to be personalized, make them feel good about you're treating them as a special customer, right? And also not afraid to turn to a competitor if they're not if their expectations aren't being met. They're very happy to do that. So your job is to provide an experience, provide good pricing, provide phenomenal products to keep them a customer of you and keep that loyalty at an all-time high. Some studies here from prweb.com, 90% of B2B buyers will turn to a competitor if a supplier's digital channel doesn't meet their needs. Actually, in 2008, I actually did this. I ran an automobile shop, and it wasn't until Napa actually built their own B2B portal, and I went from spending about $20,000 with them a month to about 60,000 because they made buying so much easier. And it also kind of rolls into what PR Web said down here in the second subject of B2B buyers will pay a premium for great e-commerce experiences. 87% would pay more from a supplier with excellent portal status, which is actually up from the previous years. And I think I can take that all the way back to 2008 because that's exactly what happened in my scenario. I didn't call O'Reilly's or AutoZone anymore to buy my repair parts. I went to Napa because they had a portal and I could look everything up. Yeah, they were about, I think, 5 or 7% higher, but the service was there. I could get it right when I needed it, and all I had to do was plug in the PO that I needed, and then the parts were on the way. E-commerce in a lot of circles can be a dirty word. What we look at are the three frustrations that come up probably the most, right? And that's expensive long-term commitment contracts, the time-consuming delays that potentially may come up, and then the complex requiring specialized resources. So everyone's probably had a conversation with somebody about an e-commerce solution. You start looking at all the parties that have to be involved, look at the level of commitment on certain contracts to contract out the application, and then just the sheer project of it alone with having other people doing their daily jobs and their daily lives and handling that out. And I think what we do, which is unique, is we take care of all three of these things really in one fell swoop. And that's what this is going to talk about here. So we don't offer any contracts. We want your business month to month. That gives us an opportunity to earn your business. That gives you, the customer, an opportunity to leverage our customer service, our platform availability with us. And so that we can always be on our toes, be the best that we can be 24/7, 365. We take care of the long, complex projects that can sometimes drag out with our fixed price, fast track implementations. Now, we've done so many sites and portals that we know really what the level of effort is based off some of the customer conversations that we have. So we give you one price to implement it. We don't come back and ask you for an additional amendment if you ask for certain things. Fast implementations. We can do a customer portal in 15 minutes and a web store, depending on how complex you'd like it, in 30 to 60 days. Again, touched on the no long-term contracts. Our support team replies within an hour of you creating a ticket. We are worldwide, which means we have a follow the sun approach. So if it's 4 a.m. and you're on the East Coast and you have a question about the platform services or something's going on, please come see us. We will absolutely be there, ready to help, ready to assist. Mentioned this earlier, we can help the smallest companies that maybe don't have a digital footprint today, but want to, all the way up to the major enterprises like I say Nike, Adidas, and companies like that, that if they want to have a ERP-driven e-commerce B2B experience, we can absolutely provide that. Again, we can do all these things: affordable fixed pricing, fast implementations, no long-term contracts, because we are plug and play. We've done the work. We built the integration out, and Microsoft Business Central, we deliver the two-way synchronization so that your important data gets delivered up to a web URL that your customers can interact with, and you get the data that your customers send to you in an automated fashion. So in a sense, you're not managing the e-commerce website, you're managing your business at a whole, and the e-commerce can pretty much take care of itself. One of the ways that we help customers self-serve, help get the information that you've got safeguarded inside the ERP in regards to their specific account information. We do real-time inventory status. We do 24/7, 365 self-service portals. You can get accurate account management, so things like order status, shipment tracking, you can download important documents, pay open invoices. If you want to provide an online chat for your customer to interact with you, we can provide that as well. We have multitudes on ways that we can give time back to not only your sales reps, but your customer service reps so that they can do the most important things, which is obviously your sales reps go out, continue to sell your products, make customers happy, direct them to the portal so that they can self-serve, and that your customer service representatives, not only can they have a view into the same portal view that your customers can look into, but they also can have an additional set of items that they can talk intelligently to your clients, whether it's on chat or whether it's on the phone. One of the things that we've provided to all of the customer success managers over at Anovia, and I would absolutely encourage you to reach out to them to get this, is the customer portal ROI. We have customers, asking themselves, well, does it make sense for my business to have some type of web presence, whether it's a customer portal or whether it's an actual e-commerce store? Well, what we were able to do is to take some data and aggregate it into this URL link. This is just a snippet here, but the URL link, you can plug in your own information and you can determine how valuable a customer portal would be for your business. Again, ask your customer success managers over at Anovia. They should have this. B2B and B2C commerce web store. So we offer that experience. Again, plug and play design. It's an omni-channel style of delivery. So you can have a B2C instance and then have a B2B gated login. So you can have essentially one URL, but two different styles. And I'll show you what that looks like and how a particular customer handles that today with us. We give them customer specific catalog, personalized pricing. They can have real-time inventory. If you already have a website today and you stack real high with Google from SEO, our team is super well versed in understanding SEO and migrating and taking the current meta tags and the data that you guys have today and not only moving it over so you don't lose status, but giving you recommendations on how to increase your status. We would do all that with our own project team that we assist you in keeping your project on task, continuously doing and handling best practices and making sure that we're delivering the vision and the message that your business sees and how you want to interact with your particular customers. Again, we do product customization. We do have third-party app integration, integrated shipping, and then obviously we handle all of our search features with Elasticsearch, which makes search functioning a lot faster and easier for your end users. This is an ROI calculator for an actual e-commerce web store. So again, please reach out to your customer success managers if you'd like a copy of this so that you can plug in your own data. This is going to tell you how many days that your CSRs are going to get back from handling things like, where's my order, taking a phone call, saying an email, asking for an invoice. Like, those tedious tasks that in actuality your customer should just be able to go log in, pull the data that they want, and that way you give time, effort back to your CSRs, back to your sales reps to go do other important tasks within your business. I'm going to show a few stores here. So give me just a second to end this and then I'll show you a few customers that we've got today that are using our platform and why. So if you remember earlier, I told you I was going to show you a customer that does B2C and B2B. So I'm on Batteries Expert. They are, well, batteries everything, but more along the lines of auto parts, right? So if you've ever been to an AutoZone or a Napa or any of that, this looks like a typical, auto part retailer from the outside of it. So again, I'm just a guest, right? I just wandered on here and I could take a look and it looks just like a B2C site. The moment that I log in, uh, this is where the dynamic of everything changes. So I'm a known user. I log in. As soon as I log in, now I'm a different customer. So now I'm this particular customer, and my menu has changed. Because I'm a B2B user, Batteries Expert has created their own unique view for each individual B2B user. So now I get memos, promotions. I have a whole other array of information that your customers have at the tip of their fingertips. And again, this is now a B2B scenario and can easily go back to a B2C scenario just by logging out. Again, now I'm back to the home page in this B2C scenario. In this particular customer, Apex, they are a distributor and manufacturer. But I like to show Jim's website really for the order history and some of the portal functionality that we have. So you can see we're able to show orders, transaction history to Jim's customers means open ARs, so all the open invoices that are currently there. If there's an order that is really long and a customer doesn't want to go through the traditional means of adding certain things to the cart, they can import that order directly into the cart and then check out in that particular way. But from here, you can see we've got order numbers. We can search PO numbers by date ordered. We can filter. We can see quantity ordered. We can see quantity that's on back order. And then we can see the status of all those orders, whether they've just been entered, whether they've shipped, whether they're partially shipped because items are on back order. Again, we have all this information that's being driven directly from the ERP, and even from a tracking standpoint, now I've got all the integrated tracking links through UPS, FedEx, and any other provider that you have that we can pull straight from the ERP. What this means is that your customers will spend less time talking to your CSRs and your sales reps about administrative needs and more about the purchasing and the buying of products that they actually need. The other thing too that's meant is you could get pretty granular and detailed on the information that you want to show your customers, right? So here, the back ordered items, he wants to tell the customers when those back order items are going to be in stock. So he's gone above and beyond and added additional information through an integration that he's got with his one of his distributors on how to actually portray that particular information. The other company that I like to show is Sconza Chocolates. They also do a really great job of a B2C, B2B environment. So you see here really nice pictures that if you haven't had any of the limoncellos or the cherries, absolutely recommend them. They're so delicious. But here, just the B2C, regular stuff. Go over to the wholesale department of it, and now you get a little bit of a different environment, right? So now we get all of this type of information here. So I'll go ahead and go into my actual account. I'll log in. Now I'm logged in as a B2B user, and now easily go into my account page, show some cool things here like document synchronization. So here, if you want to display invoices, if you want to display um, bill of lading, if you want to have proof of delivery, if you're in chemicals and you have some conformance documents that you need to make sure that is delivered with the products, not only on the pallets, because some things can get lost. And customers will call and say, can you send me another one? Well, now you can add these things right to the order itself, right? And they have access to it right into their unique login, easily accessible. The other thing that we didn't touch on that I'm happy to touch on is the pay open invoices screen. In fact, Jim does this really well on his screen. So when you come to the transaction screen, you see all the credits, all the invoices. You see everything that is here to pay the open invoice. Easily click the pay open invoices. You can see all the open invoices. You can see what's been paid. You can mass pay. We accept all major credit cards. We can integrate with a lot of different payment providers. We can accept ACH if your payment provider actually has that. If you want to deliver price breaks for early payment, Jim does this to, get cash flow working and get his customers enticed to pay the open invoices and things. So he actually offers a little bit of a discount and then shows you what you missed out on if you didn't pay it by that particular time. The last company that I like to touch on is Oxworks, and I only like to touch on them because it's an example of a very complex, complicated customer that brought us a problem back in about a couple of years ago when COVID hit, and they said, we need you to solve this. And what they do is they're a fence building company, and they have contractors located around Australia. And basically what they do is, get the calculator going, and maybe they changed it. There we go. It's a live site, so they do little things here and there to change it. So here we have multiple run setups. Oh man, they really did a change on this. That's one thing about live sites, is that they always change things and when not telling us, but that's good. That's good. So you can see, look, this is a complicated configurator, right? Just like building a bike or building a house. In this particular case, we're building a fence, right? So contractors can come in here, they can actually get the right measurements, they can see a little graph, they can add the things that they need to add into their actual item list. And at the end of it, if it still works the same way that it should work, it should spit you out a wonderful type of, shopping list here. So you can see I actually added well into over 700 items into the cart, but I was able to do that in an accelerated manner, not like you're going to Lowe's or Home Depot, you're walking down every aisle, grabbing the screws, grabbing the plastic caps, steel posts, all that kind of stuff. Well, now you can add all those things, do it real quickly, add those items to the cart, check out, and then all those items get pushed into Microsoft Business Central the exact way that they should be in an automated fashion. All right, let's get back to this thing real quick. And pricing. What's on everybody's mind? So we have pricing really for all size businesses, right? We have a customer portal for as low as $500 a month with only $2,500 to implement that. Again, we can do that in about 15 minutes just to create the portal. That's importing the data, adding your logo, adding the colors. And then if you'd like to add on a little bit more styling, then obviously you can work on that and we can help you with that. Getting into selling with Business Central, we look at our foundational package. This is not only going to include our customer portal, but it's going to include, multi-tier pricing, stock visibility, shipment, payment options. We'll handle basic SEO, moving stuff over, giving you the right recommendations. We'll create the categories. We'll create the filters if you have content pages, home pages. Everything is included in that foundational package. You can have a B2C experience along with the B2B experience as well, all in the same low price of $775 a month and only $10,000 implemented. Typically, foundational packages take us only about 30 days to implement. Obviously, that means, there's some caveats to that, right? Depending on how many products you have, pictures, descriptions, so on and so forth. From there, we move into a more advanced scenario with the advanced and enterprise scenario. So from there, in the advanced scenario, you're going to have multiple warehouses. You're going to need split orders, just like I showed you on the Apex site. We're going to give you a testing sandbox, which is basically a clone replica of your site where your team can go in there, create content pages, maybe play around, change things from left to right, up or down, but that doesn't affect your actual site today. You get one click B2B quick order, and you also get our best practice expert on the line with you to talk about advanced SEO, how to upgrade, how to maintain, how to do things in the forward. Enterprise, that's going to be more like the Oxworks out there. You've got, a product configurator. You've got customizations inside of Business Central that may require a little extra work and portability upon ourselves, full ETL synchronization on all of that too. Still, compared to some other platforms out there, I think we have some of the best pricing on the market today. This is some of the things that our customers are saying about us. Print and finishing solutions. Overall experience has been excellent. The build out of the site was smooth. Technical support during and subsequent to launch has been first class. I consider commercebuild a great partner in growing my overall business. Now, the next slide I think is super, super brilliant. Um, you'll need to reach out to your customer success manager, but we are offering for Innovia customers only. This is why it's such a special offer. Free for life, our customer portal Lite. So what does that mean? That means that your customers can view invoices, check order status, see tracking information, and then chat online with you. The only thing that we don't handle, which is in our big customer portal offering, is paying open invoices and other integrations in that sense. But if you're interested in this, please reach out over to your customer success manager at Innovia and ask them about it, and we can get you all set up. Happy to do that. Again, customer portal is 15 minutes. This is kind of an example of what your customer portal may look like. Obviously, your colors can change. We'll take off Chronos. We could put your logo there, but you'll be able to see orders, shipments, and then invoices. This is just a quick little snippet of a scenario of something that it might look like. This is the part where we'll go into the Q&A portion of it. So, Angie?
Thank you, Daniel. We do have a couple of questions. If anybody has any additional, now's the time to get those entered into the questions panel so we can have Daniel address them. The first one is, will the web store be able to withstand higher traffic when our business grows?
Yeah, that's a great question. Short answer, yes. Long answer is we've got our infrastructure, which is built currently on Google Cloud. It is not only vertically elastic, but horizontally elastic too. So obviously for us, it helps us control cost based off of the amount of traffic from your site or on our web stack, right? But for you, what that means is that there's no more planning. There's no more calling your web provider and saying, hey, we may have a viral moment or we're running this promotion, we're going to get an uptick in traffic. Now you can rest assured your marketing team doesn't have to actually check mark that particular portion of planning, and that you can rest easy knowing that run your marketing campaign. The actual platform on commercebuild is going to be able to support the influx in traffic, no questions asked.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And the next question is your platform mobile friendly and optimized for mobile checkout?
Oh man, that's probably one of the most important questions of 2023 going into 2024. Again, answer is yes. It has to be. More and more people are like deferring from the typical browser type of interaction from a laptop or a desktop and utilizing iPads or phones. So yeah, actually every single one of our sites that we create is mobilely optimized because of the way the world is working.
And that is one thing that I cannot stand is an unfriendly checkout when I'm purchasing something on my phone. I just
I,
cannot
I
stand that.
won't. I won't even do it. I will just leave.
Yeah, I've done that too. Okay, next question. What is your implementation process like, and do you offer support after a site launches?
Yeah, really good question. So one of the things that we're going to do is assign you a project team. That's our team. That means that you'll have a project lead to be able to go to that is running the project, that wants to drive the project, is going to run at the speed that you want us to run at. So yes, we are going to help you. We're going to do 90% of the work all the way through. Now, after go live, we do have support. We're going to have ongoing support, right? Things in the e-commerce world, if anybody out there ever tells you that e-commerce, their platform, their solution works 100% of the time and there's no hiccups and nothing happens, well, I'd ask a few more questions, right? We have support because software does fail, right? Things do happen. But what we're able to do is we are able to understand the ERP from a holistic point of view. Obviously, not as well as your partner Anovia does, but we understand it because we did the integration. So what does that mean? If there is a problem, it's faster time to resolution. The other thing too, because we work with Anovia, if there are upgrades or something that you'd like to do in the web store, then yeah, let's have a call with Anovia. Let's talk about what needs to happen in the ERP and then how we can portray that up on the web. But again, you're fully supported 24/7, 365, all hours of the day.
That's very good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
And what payment gateways do you integrate with?
Too many to list. And we're always adding to that list. That's that's a really good question. So really quick off the top of my head, Fortis, Bambora, iSolutions, Paya, Stripe, VersaPay, Braintree, PayPal, the list can go on and on. What we'd like to do is understand what payment gateway you use as a consumer, and if one, we already have the integration, or two, if we need to build that integration. We're happy to build it. We just need to understand why and some of the things out there of the, is there documentation that we can easily utilize? And, how is their support? I think that's another big one out there is support, right? We have support on our end. We think it's phenomenal. We want other companies that we utilize and maybe even recommend to have phenomenal support too to go along with the offerings. But yeah, there's a lot of them out there. I would say have conversations with your customer success managers over at Anovia. And yeah, let's have a conversation about one, do we already integrate? Or two, how long would it take us to build the integration?
Okay, very good. And the last question is, are you in AppSource?
Yes. That's the greatest thing. In fact, you can download our app. We encourage it. And you can build your own store in 15 minutes. Like you don't actually really need commercebuild to do that. We like to interact with you. We want to have that conversation with you and train you and teach you on certain things. But if you're a self-learner and self-taught, I'm self-taught on a whole bunch of things. And one of the things that I self-taught myself on was downloading the app and installing it and creating a portal myself. I'm just a sales guy. I mean, I could build a car, but I'm not really good on the web to an extent. But yeah, it's really easy. And then, well, obviously, we're always there if you have any questions to ask us. But yeah, really good question.
All right. Well, thank you, Daniel. I believe those are all the questions that we have for you today. If anybody has any additional questions or you come up with some questions that you'd like to discuss, please let us know here at Anovia, or you can reach out to Daniel. He has his information up on the screen as well.
That's great. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Again, we want to help customers. We want to help businesses achieve their digital transformation goal. And even if you just want to ask me about some other platforms that are out there, I've been in e-commerce since 2013. I've been around the block. I don't discriminate against other companies or their products. I think every company has a place for a company's unique business case, right? So, very neutral here. If we can help you, love to help you. And if we can't, then we'll come out and say that we can't help you and we can give you some recommendations. But yeah, I appreciate Angie for letting me speak about Commerce Build, and yeah, looking forward to some of the extended conversations that may come from this webinar.
All right, great. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you everyone who is on, or if you are watching this on demand, thank you for taking the time out to watch this. You can also check out our website for more of our upcoming events, and that's inovia.com/events. And we do have our training workshop page up with more training workshops. You can browse through the variety of workshops and see which ones fit your role. So check out the ones that are right for you and your team, and get registered to attend one of those workshops. And if you have not heard the latest Inovia Conversation podcast, we do have a library of podcast episodes for you to listen to. You can learn more on our podcast page, and that's inovia.com/podcast. So browse through that selection and subscribe so you'll get notified when those new episodes air. It's also a nice way to listen to a variety of podcasts when you're traveling. So if you have a long trip planned, get those podcasts downloaded so you can listen to them. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you again, Daniel, for the presentation, and we look forward to seeing you again soon on another Inovia webinar. Take care, everyone.